Hey, what's happening? Welcome to the Jacked and Tan 2.0 Week 2 Day 1 T1 Squat workout. So this was last Monday, working up to an 8 rep max in the T1 for the squat. They're going to follow that up with some drop sets, 3 sets of 5 on that last one, going to rep that sucker out. So this squat workout, super freaking hard. We're going to talk a little bit about the specifics of this individual workout and drop a little bit of hints about Jacked and Tan 2.0 in this training video. And in the meantime, if you have no give a shit at all about any of that information, you can just mute this and watch the agony on my face, because this workout is truly difficult. But through all of that pain and misery came the glory of making through the end and being like, damn, I did all that shit and it was awesome. And you know what, it actually felt pretty good. So it was just super hard during it, and it's hard in a different way. So if you're coming from a more traditional or common powerlifting type of program like the UHF or maybe Shaco or RTS or something like that, if you're coming from something like that, Jacked and Tan 2.0 is going to be difficult. And this is coming from a guy who's basically 2 months divorced from powerlifting, because most of my physical training these last 2 months has honestly been 2 to 4 hours of skateboarding 3 to 4 days a week. That's a lot of cardio. And honestly, these workouts, hard, but I definitely was leaving 1 to 2 reps in the tank on all of these movements. So while I have that face of agony, I could have pushed a bit harder. So, all that being said, my recommendation to you now, if you are interested in starting Jacked and Tan 2.0, for you to start this thing successfully, you should start doing some form of cardiovascular conditioning now. It doesn't need to go crazy. You don't need to go full blast, but definitely start building an aerobic base. You need to be really dialed into your breathing, because honestly, on all of this high rep business, your endurance is going to truly boil down to how well you can control that breath of yours. Because if you can't do that, then these high rep squats are just going to be absolutely miserable. So, in case you missed it, that 385 I got for 8. I probably could have pushed for 2 more, would have been, if I was going to use RPE, which I usually don't, but many of you do. So to speak that language, it would have been an RPE 10 had I pushed it for 10 reps. And that being said, I feel pretty good about it, because I think 395 is honestly a real 10 rep max for me, all-time best, or something close to that. So I know for sure I've never done 405 for 10, so I'm really not that far off. I wonder if all this skateboarding has a work capacity and potentially power improving ability. I'm not too much of a scientist, but I wonder if there's a correlation in all of that, and I certainly hope so, and I definitely think so. But anyways, enough of that business. What you're catching here are these T1 drop sets of 335 pounds. Basically lightweight. These drop sets, 2 sets of 5 are not difficult. Nah, that's just to regain an amount of quality in a high rep training program, because low quality reps are almost inherent in a high rep training program, especially if that training program is built around barbell lifts. So we do these lighter drop sets just to regain a bit more quality in your T1 movement, because you don't want to go messing all that up, especially if you had just come from Shaco where you just built all that specificity in. No, you don't want to undo all that by poisoning that well of quality reps. So what you do is do some drop sets, maintain the mastery of that movement, build your work capacity at that intensity, because that's always a good thing too. And then when you want to push yourself, and when you want to crush the effort, because really what an excellent and progressive training program needs is something that makes you push yourself. There are a number of means to do that, but going towards failure is a very good one. And that's what Jacked and Tan 2.0 is truly all about. What you just saw there was those T1 drop sets pushed for a 10 rep max with 335. So, lots of reps. Prepare yourselves ladies and gentlemen, it's a difficult training program. What you're catching here are T2 2-inch deficit deadlifts. Holy shit, this is where the agony happens. Not even messing around. Holy crap, like just pain in a different way. High rep deadlifts, man, I forget just kind of like the difficulty, but also splendor and like painful beauty in high rep deadlifts. After this, I just felt like euphoric. It was amazing. But believe me, during this, not so much. 325 on the bar turns into absolute misery. But through all of this pain and discomfort comes excellence and comes progress. Because building all of these reps, and notice here, I'm not just pushing myself for the sake of pushing myself and using weight to crush myself. No. These are decently quality reps, so we want to make sure that when you're using Jacked and Tan 2.0, you're not going for high reps sake just for fucking high reps sake. Make sure you're using weight that you can legitimately move for those number of reps and reach technical failure towards the end of that expected workload demand. So when the program calls for 4 sets of 8 repetitions and the weight says 325, if I have an honest feeling in my gut that I might only make 2 sets before technical failure really starts getting ugly, then I'm going to make a wise call and reduce that weight. Keep in mind, Jacked and Tan 2.0 is going to come out as a program, but that does not mean you don't have the tools to tailor it to your own needs and abilities. Read Applications and Adaptations. Get a solid understanding of AMRAPs. Understand that AMRAPs are always optional. If you don't have fuel in the tank, how are you going to push yourself? You got to have fuel in the tank, guys, gals. So an AMRAP is going to be optional. And the workload, the volume, is what you've got to get done. And adjust the intensity based on those demands. So what we're really looking for is reaching near failure on those last 2 to 3 repetitions of these sets. And in the T1, you don't even want to come close to actual failure. You want to have 1 to 2 left in the tank at all times in the T1. In the T2, few if any AMRAPs. Honestly, that's a big option. That's up to you to add AMRAPs into the Jacked and Tan 2.0 T2. There's lots of 2's in that sentence, just as a reminder. So all these AMRAPs, again, push them if you got it. If you don't do it. But the big thing to remember is effort is what makes you progress, not the program. The program is merely a means to make you demonstrate effort. So hopefully in Jacked and Tan 2.0 there's a lot of effort going on. So far I am loving it. It is difficult as hell, but also awesome. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Hope you're stoked on the program. Stay tuned and be excited for 4th of July. I want to see those 1776 videos and those best lifting costume videos. So make sure you're posting those. Thanks for watching.